the lack of logic, common sense, and an overarching strategy at my football club is driving me to insanity. What on earth is going on? How can Chelsea possibly be considering signing Marc Cucurella? This isn't about how good Cucurella is at football. He is obviously superb. From Getafe to Brighton, probably to Man City, he has been brilliant. But for some reason, Chelsea are looking to hijack this deal. Chelsea could obviously do with numbers. Chelsea are obviously in need of reinforcements across the team, but not as a priority at left back. Marcus Alonso, Bubba Rahman, Kennedy, Emerson Palmieri, Ben Chilwell, and Marc Cucurella. That would be 6 left backs at the club. That would be absolutely ridiculous. And the lack of logic at Chelsea at the moment is so painful. It is now more than possible that Chelsea would spend another 50 million quid on another left back. That is where we are, particularly when you think about where Chelsea are lacking at the moment. As we are embarking on a new season, we are 5 days away from the opening of a new Premier League campaign. Think about how flawed Chelsea's squad is. Think about how desperately in need of reinforcements and replenishments Chelsea's midfield is. Chelsea's forward line is. Chelsea's squad entirely is. And yet, we are looking at focusing at fullback. This is ridiculous. I think we need cover there because Bubba Rahman, obviously not good enough. Marcus Alonso, the joke is over now. There are so many players who need to leave the club. And yes, we need reinforcements at left back because Ben Chilwell spent 75% of last season injured. We therefore need somebody to deputise. But you cannot sign Cucurella to deputise because he isn't going to want to sit on the bench. Ben Chilwell is one of the best players in the team. He isn't going to want to sit on the bench. People are telling me that Cucurella can play as a left centre half. And yes, we've seen him do that for Brighton very well. But he gives us 5'8". His main position is left back. Don't pay £50 million to put somebody out of position. Play people where they are supposed to play. It is so obvious that Chelsea need reinforcements in so many positions on the pitch. How are we involved in this Cucurella shout? How are we trying to hijack this deal? And what comes with this deal is yet more good news. Levi Colwill could be a makeshift in securing this deal. So Levi Colwill could go the other way. Are Chelsea seriously not going to learn from the mistakes of previous seasons? We are still reeling from the mistake of letting Victor Mori go to AC Milan. We are still reeling from the mistake of letting Tammy Abraham go to Roma. And yet again, we are going to prioritise bringing players in when we have adequate reinforcements who could be an integral part of Chelsea Football Club for over a decade. Thomas Tuchel needs to take some responsibility here. Why doesn't he ever back the youth? Why is he prioritising Ross Barkley over Billy Gilmore? Why is Billy Gilmore being sent home from the United States while Ross Barkley stays out there? How does that make any sense? Why is Trevor Chalobah the only player that has been brought through from the youth team by Thomas Tuchel? I truly don't understand why this is happening. And before anyone starts, this isn't about, do I rate Cucurella? Do I think he would be a great player? Of course I do. I was at the game. Chelsea played Brighton between Christmas and New Year. And I had some glorious seats that day. I was sitting right on top in Ken Bates' old director's box, sitting right on top of Cucurella's wing. He tore us apart. He was integral to everything that they did. It was a game where Welbeck scored from that cross. A great player, a brilliant player who was clearly Brighton's best player last season. You know, he was their player of the year for a reason. A fantastic player with so many attributes who is going to go on and have a flourishing career. But why are Chelsea prioritising another left back? This is what I don't understand. And this is my issue with this signing. Chelsea need an overarching strategy. Our director of football is Todd Bowley, a man who has never worked in European sport before, a man who has never worked in football before. And he has taken over a role that he's obviously not equipped to do. He is obviously not ready to be a director of football. It is not his role. And why we are going in for him, I honestly do not know. It makes you wonder what the thinking is here. It makes you wonder what strategy we're thinking of employing next year. Let's genuinely explore 3 at the back, Cucurella as the left side of that, Ben Chilwell outside him. Surely if we're going to spend £50 million, that isn't what we do. Surely that doesn't make sense. Cucurella's best position is to play left back. So if we're going to sign somebody who, what you're losing by not playing him left back, you're losing his expertise in that position. and getting somebody who isn't expert in their position at left centre-half. 5'8" as well, as a left centre-half. It troubles me slightly. I just don't quite understand it. I'm not convinced that he would accept this deal either, Cucurella. I feel like he is desperate to link up with Pep Guardiola. He put in that transfer request with Brighton to sign for Man City and Guardiola. Man City are balking at the £50 million price tag, and Chelsea have come swooping in. And my question is why? Why are we doing that? Brighton know he's going to go. Brighton have already been looking for replacements. But we tried to sign Nathan Ake. I wonder if we're reeling from that not working out. But I don't know. Are we trying to save face here? After the Rafinha debacle, the Jules Koundé debacle, are we trying to make a statement? Are we trying to ease Man City out of position? Are we trying to show them that we still compete? Is this a statement? Is this a bold move to show the world that we have hijacked a player from Man City? A player that Man City, at least for the time being, seem to have walked away from. Is that what we're doing? I mean, I genuinely think that this senseless strategy at Chelsea is going to continue, and maybe we are just buying players to make a statement. Are we realistically going to spend £50 million on a left back and then 2 years later spend another £50 million on another left back and then play that left back out of position? It really doesn't make sense to me, but I'm starting to get very concerned about Chelsea's form going into this new season. I really am, because there were so many things that I took for granted. I thought that Clearlake and Bowley were going to come in with a strategy, and there doesn't seem to be one. I thought that Bowley and Clearlake were going to come in and obviously realise that when you let Romelu Lukaku leave, when you let Tammy Abraham leave, you need a clear, obvious centre forward, and we haven't signed one. It was a prerequisite that Chelsea signed a centre forward. Kai Havertz as a false nine doesn't work. He averages 6 goals a season. He isn't a false nine. He is, again, playing out of position. You don't want to have somebody who's as good as Kai Havertz playing in his natural position, playing through the middle, because you lose him in the position that he should be playing in and you don't gain a particularly good striker. Timo Werner's never going to score enough goals. Christian Pulisic's never going to score enough goals. Hakim Ziyech, the best of the lot out of those three, in my opinion. You know, he can be a brilliant player and has probably had more standout moments than Kai Havertz, with the exception of what happened in Porto. Like, think about that goal he scored against Tottenham. It was exceptional. But we need somebody who we can guarantee at scoring goals. And where is that centre forward? At one point, it looked like it was going to be Cristiano Ronaldo. That's gone quiet. And where this leaves Chelsea going into a new season, it makes me so fearful of how this season is going to pan out. Everton, first day of the season. Tottenham, 10 days from now. If we don't get this right soon, it's really going to be problematic. We need some decisive action. The board needs to step up. Thomas Tuchel needs to start making some correct decisions, because otherwise this season is looking... It's not looking good, is it? You look at the windows that Arsenal have had, you look at the windows that Tottenham have had, and they were a Rizzler paper behind us at the end of last season. So we really do need to make something work. But Cucurella, how is that the priority for Chelsea at the moment? He is a good player. He will do a job. But Chelsea need to prioritise. The season starts in 4 days' time. How is another left-back when we have one of the best players at the club is a left-back? How is that the priority with everything going on at the moment? No one's going to score any goals. No reinforcements in midfield. No reinforcements at centre-half. Do you want another left-back? Yeah, great. Do you want a 6th left-back at the club? Yeah, great. Bewildering. Where do you sit on this one? Really interested in your thoughts. Please comment below. Let me know what you think. Do you think I'm overreacting here? Do you think Cucurella would be a good signing for Chelsea? Or do you agree with me and think our focus should be elsewhere? 5 days till the Premier League season starts. Really am worried. In a bit.